So for our lovely Miss M, we are going to practice again with our distraction guest. So another thing I'd like to recommend is notice how we did a little bit of play to redirect Miss M, Millie, onto another item other than the target person. So the other option is to also have special chews, lick mats, kongs, or novel items that she hasn't seen in a while that could also be paired with sometimes the excitement of something coming in. That way, as opposed to, for example, like let's say you're sitting out to dinner and your little one is maybe not having the greatest time sitting and being patient, you might bring some activities like a coloring book or something to work on. So the same thing for Miss M. You might find it very helpful to give her something to do instead of her original thought, which would have been to maybe go visit the company. So, but Eric, if you want to come on in again, we'll practice sort of similar to earlier. Nice job, Miss M. So again, she's a little bit unaware, but she's also really liking what I have for some snacks. So we typically warm up with some of these lovely Find It. Again, movement behavior, really beneficial if your babe tends to get really eager and has a hard time holding still. So what we're going to try and warm up with is a little bit as company is hanging out with us. Ready, Mill? Yes, good girl. So again, it's a little bit more old hat. So notice how she's not quite as exuberant. I know too, then obviously just like with us, the more you work on something, the easier it can become. She's also probably starting to find that it's not quite as exciting as it once was the very first moment, because novelty doesn't last forever. So again, for Miss M, I'm going to try a couple little approaches, and then Eric might do a couple Find It's as well. But I'm going to start off with doing some Find It's near him. Nice. Ready? Go ahead. Beautiful. So for Miss M, realizing that company equals raining of snacks on the floor can be a great way to diffuse that excitable energy off of the target onto the ground. Nice. So notice how much softer Miss M is on her second hello versus her first time seeing Eric. So go ahead, keep it going so she doesn't get too excited. Nice. So remember too, guys, that rate of reinforcement is going to be really crucial for your babes. Not just because you're trying to build up fun and good associations. That's all right. There we go. Beautiful. But because you want your babe to start finding value in what they're working on. So if they barely got a paycheck for something they deemed really hard, why would they ever put in the effort later? So especially if she finds this is really hard, like almost like open heart surgery, or maybe she's the brain surgeon, she needs the paycheck that's equivalent of that work. So right now, Miss M thinks, gee, new company coming over maybe doesn't have to be quite as hard. And now she can think new company might equal some wiggles. So you still have a few pieces. So let's see if you can add a little bit of movement. I'm just going to have there we go again. Have Miss Millie follow you around and feed for that. So again, I'm just here as her safety net. So I am her helper, where these could be her training wheels. So now as our lovely Miss M, Millie, is working a few skills with Eric, I'm going to give you a few more little snacks. Now she can instead view the new person as someone that can also give her some helpful directions. If though when the person first comes in, you or them are squealing, sit, down, off, over and over, but your dog is still just assaulting the company, then your babe is just learning that you're just going to squeal in the background, maybe add some excitement from her perspective. Maybe you're all barking with excitement as the friend comes in. But now what Miss M could do instead is work through a little bit of some of her basics. So maybe a little bit of wiggling in the environment's nice. Maybe some Find It's are helpful. Maybe she likes doing those little sit behaviors. Nice option. But let's say, again, company's maybe going to hang out with you for a little bit. You could even drop the leash and let the puppy drag it. So that way, when needed, you could go ahead and help her. The other option I like to include is, let's say your company is over. You don't have to go too far, but let's say your company is over. You could now also offer your dog a few other things to practice other than the person that's around. So remember to give them outlets. I know, sorry, they're a bit sloppy. Give them outlets that then could be replacing the original target. So now Miss M says, well, gee, I'd rather go eat this lovely, disgusting bone as opposed to assault Eric. So this is a great moment for her, where instead of choosing to go bombard him, she can then do something that we find more appropriate. But this is kind of how I would work it, where your company doesn't have most immense value, but you and what you're working on has more of an oomph to her. And then as she's getting cozy, she could go into licking or chewing something, and now company's already here. It's been just a few minutes, and now your babe is maybe softer to the point that you normally would have throughout the day. So, but thanks for coming by. So now Miss M can enjoy her chew. Eric did a few fun things with her, but it didn't equal bombard company. So I would definitely set up your dynamic where you're giving your dog appropriate items you'd rather have her do. If she cannot tolerate this setup, don't even give it to her as an option. So I know we jumped into management earlier and how important that can be, but Miss M says that she's enjoying her disgusting knuckle bone, so we'll give her a little break from this one.